It's been a grueling week in San Diego. Not because it's week 6 of the tour. Not because there have been record scores. It's the challenging lane conditions that everyone is fighting. For tonight's finalists, it will be a test of adapting. Who will tough it out and walk away champion? Find out next. Welcome inside Grove Bowling Center in San Diego, California for the finals of the Greater San Diego Open. Hello everyone, I'm Jan Schmidt, and at my side tonight to help me call the action on what the athletes have described as the toughest sport condition this year is Cathy Doren. Lizzie, Cathy, you bowled on this, made the cut. How tough was it?
Well, Jan, I have to say this was the most grueling sport condition as of yet. The pattern was a little longer this week, and it basically forced the ladies to play the same part of the lane, which caused the condition to get a lot tougher as the week went on.
Well, the lady that handled it the best, obviously, our top seed, Anne-Marie Duggan. Cathy, Anne-Marie has not been in a championship match since February of 1998, so what's been holding her back?
Well, Jan, Anne-Marie is a hard worker and a perfectionist, and it is very difficult for Anne-Marie not to be perfect. She has to learn to keep her emotions in check because she's a very emotional player. She's worked very hard on that, learning not to allow her focus to wander as to what's going on around her. Her husband, Pat, came out 2 weeks ago. He worked with her, told her, just worry about what you're doing and enjoy yourself when you're bowling and don't get so caught up in what's going on around you. Anne-Marie told us last night she's not going to be out here for 10 more years, and all she ever wanted to do was bowl well. But now she wants to bowl well and win. She is a superior champion out here, and I would expect nothing less than that out of her.
Well, Anne-Marie, a very emotional player. On the flip side, our number 4 seed, Stacy Ryder, she has been searching to find the emotion in bowling again.
Well, over the last 2 years, Stacy has really lost her heart in bowling. She's had a lot of personal family misfortune in her life and basically left her very empty on the lanes. But over the break, she went home, got a great job that she loves her work, and even found a new practice partner. Stacy is ready to fall in love with life and bowling all over again.
Well, she's going to need all the love for bowling and a lot of heart. She has a tough road ahead of her in the opening match. She'll take on Kim Adler in her 2nd consecutive show and the defending champ, making her 5th show in 6 weeks. Going for title number 3, Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard. We're ready for that match, so pick your favorite. High fives are on, or low fives are on, I should say. Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard will start this match. She qualified 3rd, Cathy. It was her choice. She's decided to start.
She wants to get things rolling.
This match, 3 bowlers. The person that starts will finish first.
Yes.
So she may have liked lane 32 a little bit better, maybe wants to finish on that lane.
I would probably guarantee that that's exactly why she did that.
Coming up light on her first shot.
It wasn't real easy this week to find a lane that you preferred. There wasn't really one that you said, great lane.
Not a lot of high scores this week. The ladies that could hang in and not throw the really low games are the ones that prevailed. Kim Adler, we saw her last week on the show again, going high, leaving a 3-pin. Hang on, and it does. Spares at a premium this week, Cathy. If you missed a spare, that could virtually take you out of a match.
Yeah, because this condition, the sport condition, especially this week because they were tougher, it was very difficult for you to double to pick up the open. So spares were crucial.
In covering the spare?
No problem with those plastic balls. Everyone, majority of the girls, I'd say 95% switched to a plastic ball.
First look at Stacy Ryder. And she starts with a strike. Maybe she has plenty of heart for this match.
Great opening shot by Stacy.
Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard trailing by 10 right now. How about that, Cathy? I mean, 5 shows out of 6 to open the year. Is she tired of runner-up player of the year or what?
I just can't get rid of her.
Boy, and you have her at home too, you know, sister.
She's just really hot. I mean, if you really ask her, she just says what she does works right now. And that's great.
Well, that didn't work right now, leaving the 6, 7, 10 light on lane 31, high on 32. Meanwhile, Kim Adler stepping up. Kim on the staff of Brunswick and also on the Clever Girl women's sports team. They have several women athletes on a team of theirs. Kim, one of those representatives.
She's a great professional. Well, she gets the wood on the split, which is the smartest thing to do. On this, you just need every pin you can get, regardless of how you get it.
And that was the mental, that was the concept basically this week. I mean, you probably would go for the wood on almost everything because you needed to pins counted.
Absolutely, every pin counted.
1-2-4, errant shot by Kim Adler, although, as we're saying, on this condition, an errant shot might be missing by 2 boards, and that is what happens down the lane. You end up missing the head pins.
Yes, 1-2-4 was a very common spare. Quick double for Stacy.
After this week, Collierville, Tennessee is the next stop for the PWBA as they head to Fun Quest Lanes for the Greater Memphis Open. Play begins Sunday, June 24th and runs through June 28th. Then it's on to Danville, Virginia and Country Club Lanes for the Southern Virginia Open. That'll be Sunday, July 1st through Friday, July 6th. The Sport Bowling Challenge is next from Shore Lanes in St. Clair Shores, Michigan. The tournament runs Sunday, July 8th through Thursday, July 12th, so be sure to stop in and visit the greatest women bowlers in the world when they come to a city near you. There's a look at our current score. Stacy Ryder, 2 strikes to start this match, and I guess she decided to start big and not wait.
Well, her first shot was a great shot, definitely flush. This one here, you can see she got it off her hand a little early, bounced, which was common. Barely touched the head pin on the left, but shook them all up, which is exactly what she wanted to do, because you could have left something really bad going on the left.
Looks like Lady Luck right now is with Stacy Ryder. Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard now up in the third, trying to shake off a split in the second frame. She won twice already this year.
WIBC Queens, I see that tiara every morning when I wake up in the motorhome. Again going high on the left lane, leaving the 3-6-10.
And this is what happened all week, and this is why there was a lot of discussion about emotions, frustration. How do you keep calm and keep focused every shot when you're struggling like this?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, the majority of the girls will tell you they were a little tired, mentally and physically, more so as the swing is going on. Our spare maker will tell us that Carolyn needs to get the spare ball. She will also throw a plastic ball to the right of the 3-6, just like that. Perfect. Again, the girls will get a little more tired because the majority of the time we're throwing 2 balls a frame. So 42 games, you're pooped at the end of the week.
Exactly.
Yes.
Physically and mentally, plus pro-ams, practice,
yes,
warm-ups, everything else. So, but hopefully, you know, stay with us here because we have seen the scores get better after the first match each week. So we're hoping that that continues to happen, and maybe they continue to get better throughout this match as the players get comfortable on the lanes.
Much better shot by Stacy. Great shot. Leaves a 10-pin. Picks up her plastic ball to spare it.
Now it looks like she does have 2 different color grips. I was going to say it almost looks like she doesn't have a grip in the ring finger, but it may be a dark colored grip that we can't see.
I believe it is. And she too on the break worked on getting more length, not hitting up on the ball, which Anne-Marie Duggan also told us, worked very hard on not hitting up on the ball.
Well, I wonder if Anne-Marie talked to her about that. These 2 ladies, Stacy and Anne-Marie, very good friends, actually doubles partners. Stacy's 2 titles came with Anne-Marie in the doubles. Well, right now through 3 frames, Stacy Ryder has the lead at Grove Bowling Center. We'll be right back with more. We're through 7 frames, and Stacy Ryder is leading this match. She leads by 22 pins. One of the reasons she's leading, this great spare conversion in the 4th frame. And
perfect.
She, nails it.
Yep.
Kim Adler trailing by 22, and she had some difficulties in the 7th frame.
Great shot off her hand right there, and then jumped a little high, and 7-10. Not a really great odds on making that one.
Absolutely not. So Stacey Ryder in the lead, as I said, by 22 pins, but 3 frames left, and it's been tough. Carolyn Doren Ballard has made a big move on the lanes. Cathy, she changed balls and moved way right.
Yes, and what a great swing she's had. The only last week, Wheelchair Awareness Classic in Mesa, Arizona, 14th. Wow.
Other than that, all telecasts. But right now, look where she's moved to on the lanes.
Come on. Great shot. You know, there was nowhere to play right. Although a few girls, Lisa Wagner won, which you know, Lisa always has the gusto to trust herself to pull out a really sanded ball, move in the oil, and just take charge of the condition, because there was nowhere else to go. We already knew what we could do playing in, and she opted to move out.
So Carolyn now has picked up a sanded ball. Now it looks like Kim's making that same move. She is. She's following Carolyn.
Great move, great shot.
They both picked up balls that were sanded, as you just mentioned, more surface. And Cathy, that makes it grip the lane a little bit better, I guess is a way of saying it.
Yes, there was so much oil on the outside, I would say, like from the 10 board right, that you were forced to play left of that. Well, when 51 girls are playing left of that, it can be very difficult. So you have to move into the oil with a sanded ball and create your own shot.
So this the opposite of what you're used to. A lot more conditioner outside, those of you at home, and a lot drier, more hook in the middle. Stacey has opted to stay in that middle, but tough break here. She has a Greek church. Meanwhile, Carolyn and Kim
up a lot.
Shoot, that's the danger. You miss a little bit right.
Yeah, you can't miss. Stacey left the Greek church. Throws her plastic ball and gets the wood, which is smart. It's all you can do. Now, the match really isn't over yet for anybody.
No, it's not, because that just really put Kim Adler into the lead in this match right now.
And what's really difficult is you can't make a bad shot anywhere you play. It's not just out because they moved out. It's anywhere, really.
So really, you want to try to find your comfort zone, what the area of the lane where you think you can repeat shots the best.
Absolutely, and every girl that's made the telecast since the Queens has said the same thing, that they get a ball where they can be safe and make their spare.
No, that one, obviously, see, now she missed left, and look at that.
It barely hit the head pin on the left.
Well, Stacey, big shot for Stacey Ryder. You talked about what she's been doing physically. She's also been doing some mental work. She read a mental game of golf. She said that it did a lot for her mentally on her focus.
I know, she gave it to me. I just started to read it last week. Great shot by Stacey. Excellent. She also told us that she used to really scoreboard watch a lot. She'd always look at how everybody else was bowling, and this week she said, I'm not going to do that. And it worked.
Kim Adler covers the spare. A test of her strike shot there. So there you can see now Stacey Ryder in the lead because Kim Adler did not strike. Our plus or minus now assumed that the players will strike off the sheet. So Stacey Ryder has the upper hand, stepping in the 10th frame. As they step up in the 10th. And she's score watching right now, as you just mentioned, and a little glance over to see where she's at in this match. Carolyn Doren Ballard, best she could shoot is 180.
Which was about average.
Carolyn actually had the highest average on this condition, 205.71, but a 14-9-1 match play record. One of the things, she really doesn't feel she's struggling, but she doesn't win enough matches for what she averages out here.
And that's exactly what she said her weakness was. Inability to win matches.
Kim Adler also only 14-10 this week, but Stacey Ryder 18-5-1. Quite a good match play record. A lot of that has to do with obviously what your opponents shoot against you.
Yes, and the opponents of Stacey only averaged 188.16, which definitely helped. Those bonus pins get you to TV. That's a fact. Oh. Great shot by Kim.
2 pins tried to take that out.
Carolyn going for the spare. And only gets 2.
Tough day at work for Carolyn Doren Ballard.
Awesome shot by Kim. How that pin didn't go, I'll never know.
There's a pin in the channel kind of blocking it. So she covers it up, and if she fills it up, it'll be 181 for Kim Adler. Stacy Ryder's going to need a mark.
Oh, great pressure shot for Stacy.
That was an awesome shot, and you could see her running it out. There was glue on that pin. It
There had
had
to
been
be.
down. 5 pins at it. Nothing knocked it down. Kim Adler trying to get all she can here, just in case.
And on a normal condition, the 7-pin probably, we could say, is an easy spare.
Normally, yes.
It's a given.
But right now,
I wouldn't say that.
no. But it was easy enough for Stacy Ryder. So she will advance. But first, when we return, how to enter the tournament for everyone, the National Mixed Championships. Stay with us. That means it'll be Stacy Ryder taking on Cara Honeychurch right after this. We're ready for the semifinal match of the Greater San Diego Open in Grove Bowling Center. I'm Jan Schmidt along with Cathy Doren, Lizzie. Stacy Ryder survived that match, and here's how she did it.
He had 2 strikes only, 31, 3 on 32. That's a lot. That's 5 strikes. Converted all her single pins and spares.
So far, except for one frame, she's been able to stay out of trouble. They're crossing over Brooklyn, leaving the 6-pin. I wanted to quickly mention Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard left on a quick note, but she wanted us to say happy birthday to PBA player Jeff Lizzie. Cathy, that name sounds familiar. Is that someone you know?
I know that guy. Happy birthday, Jeff.
That would be your
My
recent husband.
Yes. 36 years young. Or she'll be thrilled I said that.
Yeah, he'll be very happy. Stacy's waiting. They have some dead wood in the channel. That means a pin exposed in the channel next to the pin she's sparing at, which could cause problems if she were to get near the edge.
Now you can see Stacy only shot 187 and advanced. That was what won games this week. Just making your spares and staying clean and consistent. And you got by. That's what got her here.
I think if Carolyn or Kim would have chosen to move right earlier in the match,
Yes.
it would have been a different story.
Yes, definitely.
Cara Honeychurch in her 2nd full year on tour. She's the reigning Rookie of the Year.
4th show out of 6. Comes up a little light.
3-5-6. And it was equally challenging for Cara, she felt. She also agreed that this was the toughest condition she's bowled on.
And that was exactly what she said. She said, this was the toughest condition I've ever seen. And she's been a lot of places.
Yeah, a lot of international play where they bowl on oftentimes very challenging conditions.
Yes.
And that challenging condition we are bowling on, of course, is the WIBC ABC Sport Bowling condition. You can see it took a 193.66 average to make match. Just 200 even to make the telecast. Low, but not exceptionally low. We've had some 190 averages, but sport bowling in place to try to bring the integrity back into the game of bowling. So check with the center near you and see if they have sport bowling leagues available so you can challenge yourself on some of the conditions the ladies bowl on.
Great shot by Cara.
Now we should explain sport bowling can have a variety of patterns. There are limitations. 2 to 1 is a basic average. There can't be more than 2 times the oil in the middle versus the outside. But the length can change, the quantity of that conditioner can change. So what you're seeing here may not be what you'll bowl on in your sport league.
Right.
But it does call for shot making.
Yes.
There's not room to pull or swing the ball too much.
No, you definitely get rewarded for your good shots, but you really pay for your bad ones. Great shot by Stacy here on lane 32. Clean and crisp right off her hand. Solid in the pocket, leaves a ringing 10. Great shot. She'll pick up her plastic ball to make the spare.
Well, Stacy has only been out here for 3 weeks, and Cathy asked her if this has changed her plans on going home.
I might come out for the last 2 tournaments of this swing. I am planning on coming out for the fall, but right now I'm going to go home. I'm going to my niece's graduation from college on Sunday and go work the high roller. I am looking forward to coming back, though, in the fall.
Well, enjoying bowling again, and as mentioned, she came out these last 3 weeks. This was going to be her final week. Wasn't sure if she'd bowl anymore, but now it looks like she'll at least bowl the end of this swing, a couple events, and hopefully the fall.
Oh, she should. She's throwing it great.
She is.
Another great shot. Solid 10-pin.
She told us last night she was trying to not look at the scores and didn't really know where she stood until position round, when you don't have a choice because they know where you're at. They know the scores.
And she said she was a little nervous, but once she threw 1 strike and made a couple spares, she loosened right up.
Look at her strengths, never quitting, and her weakness was spare shooting.
Yep. I think the majority of the girls, their weakness is the spares on this condition. That's basically the consensus we've gotten over the few weeks, that spares are crucial.
And they play a little bit differently than they would normally, so that's a lesson at home. Also, you know, warm up on your spares too.
Yes.
Know how to shoot your spares.
Another great shot by Cara.
Cara may have a, you never know. It can be an advantage, cannot be an advantage by being the only left-hander on the telecast. She leads by 22 pins right now, but she may not experience some of the changes, the lanes, until well into this match or even next match.
You know, this being her 4th show out of 6, as well as Cara is bowling and has bowled in the past, she's a little mentally and physically tired. She's in great physical shape, but she said mentally, this is, between the traveling and how grueling the conditions have been, she feels she might even take next week off just to take a rest.
She did talk about that, and imagine that, maybe 4 out of 6 shows and then go home, take a break. And she said a lot of the players don't understand that, but she wants to be sharp and fresh coming out, that being Cara Honeychurch. Meanwhile, Stacy Ryder, still trying to hang in, has done a lot with charity work. She organized a Jim Lee Memorial Tournament and raised over $7,000 for cancer research during the break.
Yes, what an awesome event. She worked hard on that. Well, she didn't like that off her hand, as we can see, and leaves a 6-pin, so the way she's going, it's going to be an easy spare. Right here, she looks right there. It didn't look too bad from here, but she knew where it was going. Uh-oh.
And maybe, she's been trying to get the ball longer down the lane, and she knew instantly it wasn't going to happen on that shot as she covers the spare. Good chance we won't see any 300s tonight, although you never know, one more match, but there is that bonus out there just in case by Travelodge Hotels, $50,000 bonus if anyone should shoot a 300. 65 was Stacy's average on this TV pair. Wow.
Yes.
Cara's was 218. So.
Oh my God.
Stacy's hoping this pair is a little different today for both of them.
Cara, how did you do it? Almost the identical shot on the left lane, but now she leaves the 3-pin. Again, she looks okay. Came off her hand, not bad, but again, like you said, she worked on getting length, and she's not projecting it down the lane where she needs to be. That's all that is. And unfortunately, on this condition, if you don't, it's going left. So she's actually very fortunate to only leave 9 spared.
Well, Cara Honeychurch is off to the quick lead, but stay tuned to see who will move on to the championship match. We're back, and Cara Honeychurch now leads by 47 pins, working on a spare. She's been keeping the ball in the pocket. And as every week, we had a Pro-Am this week. Mike Lewis, the general manager of Pearson Ford, the sponsor of the Pro-Am, presented the awards to Alana Jones, who won the junior girls division, Stephen Menier, he won junior boys, and the winner in the senior division was Becky Schiavone. Congratulations to all the Pro-Am winners. Stacy Ryder having a little fun.
Absolutely. She's earned it.
There's not much she can do. She's struggling again, as she struggled last game, only shooting 187, but it was good enough last game. This game, a different story.
Well, it wasn't as though she had such an awesome shot the last game, but she was also bowling 2 other right-handed bowlers. And the condition is just that difficult. As you said before, it could either benefit or not, the only lefty on the telecast, and as you can see, it's definitely benefiting Cara.
Well, talking about left-handers, the last time the PWBA held a tournament in Texas, Tish Johnson won. It was the 1998 Lubbock Open. This year, we head to Don Carter City View in Fort Worth, Texas for the championship round final, Fort Worth Classic. Can Tish become the PWBA's 3rd millionaire? Find out next Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN2. It's the home of the PWBA. Stacy Ryder trailing by 47 pins and crosses over for a big break.
She's hanging in there.
Well, the best she can shoot at this point, her max score would be 211. Cara Honeychurch will just need to get some good count in the 9th and 10th frames. Cara's goals were to be in the top 3 in all categories, and she's doing very well so far this year, in 2nd in all of them.
Yes. Yep, 2nd PWBA earnings, points, and average for this season. She's off to a great year, 4th show out of 6. That's not too hard to take.
And she's right behind Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard in all of those categories.
Yes.
Carolyn is 1st. Carolyn and Cara, the only 2 ladies who have really kept their average up on this score condition to the same level it was last year.
Yes.
Carolyn at 215. Cara at 214. After that, there you go. You see Kim Adler next, 211. 3 of the ladies on the show today. Wendy McPherson, who's been top average several years, also at 211. So that's not a bad pace. We're only talking a couple pins difference. But those 2 ladies have been able to maintain those averages compiled by the Ebonite Tournament Coordinator. That's our official tournament software here at the PWBA.
Yeah, she's got an awesome line to the pocket.
She will be unless we see a drastic change. We saw it last week. Kim Adler shooting 248, had a great line to the pocket, and it changed on her and had nothing after that.
Well, Cara said her strength this week was her consistency, keeping the ball safe. And her weakness was elevated frustration, but I don't see any frustration.
Well, Cara Honeychurch makes it through the semifinal match. We'll recap tonight's scoring when we come back. So fighter night in match 1, Stacy Ryder used heart to grind it out with a 187 to defeat Dorin Ballard's 158 and Adler's 181. But heart was not enough in match 2 as Cara Honeychurch took command early and never looked back, defeating Ryder 235 to 200. Coming up next, Cara Honeychurch and Anne-Marie Duggan roll 10 more frames apiece to determine the champ. Flashback to last year, Carolyn Dorin Ballard won her 2nd tournament in a row at the Greater San Diego Open by defeating Michelle Feldman 218 to 214 in the championship match. Those 2 ladies have had a great rivalry. We'll see one here today. Cara Honeychurch will take on Anne-Marie Duggan this year in the championship match of the Greater San Diego Open, and here's how Cara got here.
Yeah, her success factor, very successful. 3 strikes, lane 31, 2 on 32. Perfect on single pins and multi-pin spares. No splits, no open frames. That's a 200 game for sure. And I can see she switched balls.
Well, didn't she shoot a 230, 235? Why would she switch?
I don't, I really don't know. I saw that she switched balls on her fill ball. She went to another ball. And I really don't know. We saw that the last couple weeks, too.
Well, Anne-Marie Duggan, her first shot crossing over Brooklyn, leaving the 6-pin. She looks pretty puzzled and did look puzzled throughout practice session.
Yes. Great off her hand. Beautiful shot, but then right at the end. Can't get it enough right or else it'll skid. It went left. Lucky to leave the 6-pin. Easy spare for Anne-Marie.
Well, it was a tight battle for the show last night, and Marianne DeRupo missed by just 24 pins, had some tough breaks the last couple games. Julie Jackson, her highest finish. This is her second year on tour.
We have Michelle Feldman, who we just saw on that recap there from Skinny Atlas, New York. And good old Tish Johnson, our champion from last week. Who breaks that record next week, doesn't she, Jan?
Oh, I've heard something about that. I really don't remember, but Anne-Marie going high, leaving the 3-6. And as you mentioned it, of course, here it comes. Yes, going for the million needs $1,560, so she'll need to finish, at least in 7th place next week. If she wants to do it the same week that she breaks my record. She tied me this week, 200 consecutive events.
Wow. That's a lot of years.
It is, a lot. And knowing Tish, she'll go another 10. And there's where everyone else stands right now. Obviously, tied with Tish. Carolyn, Dorin, Ballard is next in line at 171.
Kim Adler not too far behind, 137. Michelle Feldman and even Wendy down there with 120.
And this lady continues to strike and plans to take a week off. So consecutive events don't mean anything to her. She's just attempting to stay as fresh as she can.
Yeah, she was talking yesterday about her and her husband, Jim, going to SeaWorld while they're here. There's a lot to see in San Diego, so if they're going to stay in vacation somewhere, might as well be here.
Yeah, it's a great place. She leads by 22 pins right now.
I don't know, Jan. The way Cara's bowling, we could see a 300 game.
Yeah, well, see, I was trying to not be the one that said it. I was leaving it to you. Thanks, Cathy, because, it's always me every week. But going high, so there won't be a 300. But once again, Travel Lodge Hotels has that bonus out there for $50,000.
It looked pretty good off her hand, but she did get it in right. She didn't get it out as far left as she had been. Sure enough, it checked up a little early, and she left the 4-7. But she's able to play a lot further left on her side than we are able to play right on our side, except for when Kim and Carolyn switched to the more surfaced ball and moved right. But then again, they had to throw a more surfaced ball. And even there, it was not very consistent.
Anne-Marie talked about her strength being versatility, and when she says that, she says being able to play all areas of the lane.
Yes, and she absolutely can, and she did. Last week made the show. She played the gutter a lot of the week last week to make the show, and this week she was playing so far deep inside, which she loves, and she's great at it. I mean, look, she has to walk practically around the ball return to stay far left enough just to project the ball right. Great shot, but as you can see, the conditioner carries it a hair longer, and she leaves. Now she comes up light on the same lane she came up high, but converts the spare.
Covered it up, but by the look on her face after she threw her strike shot before she converted that spare, I think maybe her weakness might get to her a little bit here, and that's an elevated frustration level. She had a lot more trouble with frustration this week than other weeks.
Which is absolutely 100% understandable. It's very, very difficult not to be distracted watching what's going on around you, because everywhere you look, there's a 170 game or a 160 game. It's very difficult.
Yeah, and that plays on her emotions, and really that's where she struggles.
Coming up high just again, but she looks great. I mean, her execution, everything looks great. It's just the condition is touchy.
And obviously she hasn't found a place to play right now. She's going to change to that spare ball. Anne-Marie on the staff of Storm, Turbo 2-in-1 Grips, and bowlingballmall.com. Well, this condition looks very tough, and if you want to come out and try it and you're an amateur bowler, once again, we've changed our amateur eligibility rules. You can come out and bowl, but you must meet average requirements. You can only cash 3 times a maximum per year. Regional players can bowl unlimited events, and you have to participate in the orientation meeting. So call the PWBA office. They'll give you all the information. That's 815-332-5756. We did have 2 amateurs make the cut this week.
Yes, we did. Missy Bellander from Fullerton, California, who was our Alberto E. Crow Star of Tomorrow Award recipient, and Jolene Etem from Escondido, California.
Nearby.
I guess. I'm not good with geography on the West Coast. But they bowled great this week. In a very challenging condition, they bowled great.
A little bit light, leaving a 10-pin. So, what do you think right now about her decision, Cara's decision to change balls this match?
I see her still being as consistent as she was with the other ball. Her mistake area is a lot less than ours. She can get away with a little bit more than ours are. Anne-Marie and the other right-handers, their mistake area was a lot greater. They can't get away with much. Or I should reverse that.
Yeah, reverse. That's okay. Well, we talked about some of those other finishers. There's the amateur you mentioned from Escondido, California. Robin Massanti, a good week, coming back and bowling pretty strong here. Cathy, hey, Dorin Lizzie, there you are.
There I am. I snuck in there. And we have Kendra Gaines, who's helping us out in our truck. And Kelly Kulik and Kelly Rapp. Kelly Kulik, who unfortunately had to withdraw due to an illness. And Carol Giannotti Block went in for her. Kelly Rapp became our alternate.
So when someone withdraws during match play, the alternate goes into play. And the difference in her score versus the score of the person she's replacing when they entered match play is subtracted.
Yes. Now Cara comes up high on the left lane. Again, a little left, or a little right, I should say, off her hand. And there's no way it's going to hold to stay in the pocket. She goes up high and leaves a split. Very makeable, though. Another one, plastic ball.
So an open frame for Cara Honeychurch, and we need to take a quick break, but don't touch that remote because it's still anyone's match. We'll be right back. We're back in the championship match. While we were away, Anne-Marie Duggan with a split in the 5th, spare in the 6th. Cara Honeychurch now steps up in the 6th frame, leading by 23 pins. We're talking a lot about her changing balls here, and if that was a good strategy or not. Cara talked to us earlier about the strategy she used to beat these challenging lane conditions.
It was an extremely challenging condition this week. I think the key this week, perhaps unlike other weeks, was trying to hit the pocket more so than trying to carry. So what I tried to do was perhaps often maybe use the ball that didn't carry perhaps as well as some of my other balls, but was able to get me to the pocket sort of 80% of the time versus 60% of the time with a ball that perhaps carried better. And I found that, you know, by taking that strategy that I was able to hit the pocket fairly consistently and stay around averaging 200.
Well, I'd be curious to hear her thoughts on this, if she thinks this ball was a better carry percentage or why she really did go to it.
Yeah, I agree, Jan. The ball that she switched to is a stronger ball. She shot a great game, and I mean, she's not bowling a bad game now, but I think her game plan would have really stayed with the first ball.
Well, speaking of changing balls, it looks like Anne-Marie just made a change out there.
Well, Anne-Marie was in the top 5 the whole tournament. Here you can see second, first, fourth, second, first, and first. And that is a very weak ball she's throwing because the back ends, she said she was glad she led the tournament because the lanes will team down in the back ends for her.
Or she hoped that they would, but you know what? With 2 of the players jumping right midway through that match, there wasn't as much play in the middle of the lane as she would have expected.
Right, it maybe didn't benefit her as much as she had hoped. Which, as you can see, the back ends they're really still jumping. I mean, great execution. It's going right, but it just doesn't hold enough. 4-7-10, and she knows it and doesn't like it.
Touch it. I was trying to help her out there.
Yeah,
that was close.
She was going for it.
It was very close.
Which at this point you have to.
Sure. Well, you know, we mentioned that Anne-Marie had not been in a championship match since 1998. She won that event. That was her last title. Defeated Kendra Cameron, now Kendra Gaines, in the first match that game, and then beat Carol Giannotti Block, 234 to 212 to win. Cara Honeychurch, is trying to stop her from doing it this time, leading by 57 pins. before that shot.
So to rephrase my error from before, Cara's area for mistake is greater.
She has more room to make a mistake. It appears that way.
And you want that. You need that in order to win matches, make TV shows. And if you have it, you better use it.
You see Cara Honeychurch well in the lead of this match, but still, you never know if she would have an unfortunate couple of frames. So Anne-Marie Duggan has to keep her head in there and continue to try. And as long as we're correcting errors, Cathy, I want to correct one I made last week. Kim Terrell winning the Ravi Award. Actually, it was the third time she won. I misspoke and said it was the fourth. It was her third time, 95, 97, and 2000.
So does that mean we'll have to vote for her again?
It looks like I've already declared her the winner for 2001, so...
Cara just really has an awesome reaction. I don't think it would have mattered what ball she threw. She has that great of a line to the pocket.
But she didn't have that throughout the week. I mean, she averaged 204. She has the same range that these 5 players did. She didn't have anything. It appeared better than them throughout the week, but right now...
And Cara's the type of player, she's proven week in and week out, that when she gets in a groove, she's good at staying there. That's what makes her as good as she is.
Talked earlier about Tish trying to become the 3rd PWBA player to $1 million. You can see Anne-Marie starting to inch her way ever closer there, $866,000. Obviously, it doesn't include this week.
You know, if you keep scrolling down, you might find me.
We can request that from the truck.
No, thanks. Marie coming up just a little light, leaving a 2-pin.
Well, she has to be pretty discouraged after being out there all week long. Coming out here and not really finding anything to play on.
But Anne-Marie will be back.
Sure, she made the show last week, lost. Now she led this week.
She's definitely a force to be reckoned with.
And she's bowled well this year. She finished in the 7th and 8th bracket in the Queens, then 7th, 11th, 14th, and 5th. So
she's having a great year. Awesome shot. Awesome.
Well, the best Anne-Marie Duggan can shoot right now is 175. Cara has 170 right now if she doesn't throw another ball, so she'll need 3 pins on her first ball if Anne-Marie strikes out.
I bet she's going to get him.
I think so.
Awesome shot.
Well, there's nothing she can do. She pretty much tried everything, moving around on the lane, changing equipment.
And that's one thing you can't be mad at yourself if you know you've tried everything, which we know she does, because she's a smart player. You can't be mad, disappointed, but.
Well, in addition to being in the top 3 in all categories, Cara's other goal for this year was to win a title. Looks like she took care of that pretty early.
Yes, she did.
Finishes it off big, and Cara Honeychurch captures her first title this year here at the Greater San Diego Open. Stay with us. We'll be back for more. There's the winner of the Greater San Diego Open, Cara Honeychurch. Final score 200 to 165, and in with a beautiful trophy is John Taylor, the owner here at Grove Bowling Center.
Hi, Cara. Congratulations. Glad to have you to our list of champions. And from the bowling community of San Diego, I'd like to give you this trophy to commemorate your victory.
Thank you very much. It's beautiful.
And a check I know she's waiting for from Rudy Hinojosa, the general manager here at Grove Bowling
Cara,
Center.
congratulations. On behalf of the San Diego bowlers and fans, I'd like to present you with this check. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'd just like to thank both John and Rudy and all the staff and volunteers at Grove Bowling Centre all week. You've done a fantastic job. Thank you very much. To the Women's International Bowling Congress, we can't thank you enough for the support that you give us. And to Travel Lodge, they've looked after us magnificently all week. So thank you very much to Mike, especially at the Travel Lodge. I'd also like to thank Miller Brewing, and on a personal note, I'd like to thank Kegel Training Centre for the tremendous help that they've given me to improve my game over the last year and a half. To my husband Jim, thanks for all the support, and especially to Ebonite for making great bowling balls and allowing me to be part of their staff. Thank you very much, everyone.
It's definitely a team effort, so Cara Honeychurch captures her 4th career title here at the Greater San Diego Open. Be sure to tune in again next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the finals of the Fort Worth Classic from Don Carter Cityview in Fort Worth, Texas. For Cathy Doren, I'm Jan Schmidt saying so long from San Diego, California. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.